It's always lit over at AJsRantRoom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRantRoom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. What's good? What's good, everybody? Happy Friday. I'm trying to keep I keep refreshing my phone. I'm waiting. I'm hoping we get a Diddy verdict. So y'all, y'all, y'all keep refreshing your phones too. uh, hopefully, we'll. I don't know. The sentencing hearing has started, but we haven't we have no sentence as of this moment. So as I'm talking about all this other trash going on in the world, just keep me posted, y'all. Keep me posted. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? We good, we good, we good. Happy Friday, everybody. How do? Um yo, where hold on. Something's wrong here. There we go. All right, cool. So, all right, cool. Everyone can hear me. You can hear me. You can see me. That's great. Um. So yeah, hopefully we get a Diddy verdict by the end of the show. If not, we'll talk about it on Monday. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's get into it. So, congratulations to Riley Gaines and her husband Lewis Barker for she gave birth to their first child, and her name is Margot. Is that how you say it? Margot. Margot, healthy baby girl. I love the love. I love the reproduction of the world. Congratulations to the people. I mean, there isn't much there. I just wanted to say congratulations to Riley Gaines. And that's all. So moving on. So speaking of Diddy, uh, ahead of his sentencing, 50 Cent, you know, is the ultimate troll. I think him and Trump probably troll at about the same velocity, but I think 50 might be a little more because he's not in politics and he really don't care. So I think he just pushes it a little bit more over the line. So anyway, so 50 Cent once again took shots at Sean Diddy Combs Thursday, this time trolling the disgraced mogul with a letter to Judge Arun Listen, we're just gonna call him the judge. One day before Diddy's sentencing for prostitution, the 50-year-old rapper posted his quote letter to the judge on social media, asking the judge to consider the safety of the general public before unleashing Diddy on them. 50 said that Diddy, 55, hasn't had enough time to reform or make any adjustments despite teaching a class in prison. What class? You know what? He took a dig at Diddy over the infamous 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube found in the Bad Boy Records founders' properties in Miami and Los Angeles during the Homeland Security raids. Quote, we'll read the actual statement in a moment. 50 captioned his post on X. He said, "This is my letter to the judge on Diddy's case." So this is what he said. He says, "Dear Judge, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite his trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximal amount of money on deploying federal agents, which appear to be an army in two locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who is also dealing with his own rape allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. I love 50. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. I can't. Ah man, do we have a verdict yet? Do we have a verdict yet? Let's see. How long is the sentencing hearing? I guess it depends on the judge, right? And I guess is this where like the people read like their statements and stuff, like where they're like the victim impact statements? That's where they do this, right? So maybe they'll have like victim impact statements and all that. So they might drag this on past lunch. I don't know. Anyway, keep trolling 50. You're the best at it. So let's get into Kash Patel. Kash Patel basically confirmed what we already knew. Can we put this on Do Not Disturb? Was that probably this was a treasonous act, January 6th. And you know, I don't give a damn about TikTok. If they take me down, they take me down. Anyway, the director, he basically confirmed that Nancy Pelosi was involved in setting up January 6th. She made sure there were no National Guards. There was no National Guard available. Nancy Pelosi and her team were busy filming a movie of January 6th. She later sold to HBO. The 250 FBI agents sent to January 6th in plain clothes were said to be for, quote, riot control, but Kash Patel confirms that that's a lie because that's not the FBI's job. Anyway, take a look.
Some Republicans, Mr. Director, argue that Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th and the Select Committee covered it up. Based on what you personally know, what are the verifiable events in the lead-ups? And do you, I know you don't speculate, you just deal with facts.
I'm in a unique position. Remember, I was Chief of Staff for the Department of Defense on January 6th. We were responsible for the deployment of the National Guard. And what I was forced to testify to years ago at great personal cost has now once again, just like Russiagate, been proven true because all I do is speak the truth. On January, actually in the days before January 6th, we were in the Oval Office where the President Trump at the time, authorized, pursuant to law, up to 10 to 20,000 National Guard. We took that authorization because the law's second part required a request from who? Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi and the
Pelosi.
Metropolitan Police
Wow.
and the mayor at the time. And what did they say? No. And remember what happened for the next 2 years? They say, oh, Cash is lying, Trump's lying. And what do we find? Letters of their declination of the National Guard, refusing to have the National Guard show up. So all I can speak to is the facts. And the facts are those plus this. Nancy Pelosi and her team were busy filming a movie on January 6th while this so-called chaos around her was going down. If she had, just look at it this way, if she had said yes to the National Guard and we had 10,000 uniformed military officers established a secure perimeter, do you think January 6th would have gone differently?
It is intriguing that 250 FBI plainclothes agents were inside the Capitol on January 6th. I saw the president's tweet to get to the bottom of it. Who placed them there? What were they doing? Were they inciting violence? What can you tell us, Mr. Director?
This is a great example of the president's initiative to solve all the answers on January 6th. And it's another example of our transparency efforts. Pursuant to the president, we investigated the matter and found out why FBI agents were placed there in the first place. And it turns out we found documentation and witnesses and whistleblowers that said we were forced to go there to do riot control. Armstrong, do you know what the FBI does not do ever? Riot control. We don't do that. So the prior leadership sent 250 some odd men and women into a situation they're not trained for, put them in harm's way, put the individuals out there in harm's way.
Wow.
And also, those individuals have collectively responded or said beforehand that they were forced to go there. They didn't volunteer to do that.
And you believe them?
That's their word, not mine.
All right. So I'm going to say this. We all knew January 6th was some bullshit. We all knew it was a setup. First of all, Trump didn't organize January 6th. He was a speaker. Like, he was a guest speaker at January. He didn't organize January 6th. Let's start that for one. Number two, we all knew it was some bullshit. We all knew it. We all knew it was some bullshit. And I'm tired of these leftists. This is all they have there. This is if there's any moment they can hang political violence on the right, it would be January 6th. That's all they have. They don't have anything else, right? They can sit up here and try to accuse all these mass shooters and all these crazy people of doing it, but it's them. It's them. They're the violent ones. They're the thugs. They're the animals. They're the criminals. They're the ones justifying the criminality. They're the ones protecting the criminality, and they're the ones who won't admit that it's them, right? They won't, not even the leaders. The leaders don't even own up to their rhetoric. But what I need to see here is I need to see action. There's a lot of lip service, Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, everybody talking, but I don't see no indictments. There was literally something on Obama in July. Why has he not been indicted yet? Why has he not been indicted? Okay, so until I see some action, I really don't care about a lot of this stuff. And I'm only talking about this because it's Friday and I needed a filler story. But other than that, I don't need any more of this. I need people to be held accountable. So if we're not going to actually do the work of getting these people taken, indicted, and tried, then what are we even doing? Why are we wasting taxpayer dollars paying y'all to just give us, nice talking points in interviews? We're bored. So, like Trump said a couple weeks ago in his Truth Social post, yeah, it's time for some action. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the words. I'm tired of the flapping of the gums. I'm tired of and then this person did all of these things. Oh my God, it's treasonous. And then we just monkey bar to the next story. Just like the left monkey bars from outrage to outrage, we monkey bar from outrage to outrage. So until I see some action, until I see some actual indictment, so I actually see some people actually going and being tried by a jury of their peers, I don't care. To quote Stephen A. Smith, we do not. No, that's not Stephen A. Smith. That's the Steelers coach, Mike Tomlin. We do not care. So, Stephen A. does have a version of that. He's like, I don't care, something like that. He says. Anyway, so yeah, I get the lip service. I get that this is stuff we already knew pretty much. Like, we just needed somebody in an official capacity to say that it was. So now that we have that, can we get to the actual meat and potatoes, which is because y'all have the power to create the action, right? And so do that. Make it happen, people. Make it happen. Otherwise, just shut up. Like, just don't even tell us anything. Because it just creates this false sense of hope, and then we get nothing out of the deal. So yeah, moving on. Our favorite illegal immigrant, non-illegal Marilyn Father, great upstanding citizen, Kilmar Abrego is out of here. Get him out of here.
Fox News alert, adios Kilmar. The Maryland dad's going to be gone for good. Where's his next home? Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has the details. Kevin.
Evening, Jesse. As they say at the end of the night at the nightclub.
Wait, sidebar. Damn, who made him up? He got on a lot of makeup. It's one thing to do a little touch up, but damn, you look like you about to get buried. Anyway, go ahead.
You got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. And for Abrego Garcia, yeah, that's the case. The illegal alien and accused MS-13 gang member is on his way out. A final order of removal will stand after an immigration judge rejected a motion from his lawyers to reopen the case. Now, you'll recall back in August, his attorneys petitioned to reopen the case because they were afraid of imminent removal to Uganda. After DHS notified him that, yeah, you might be sent to that country. But today, the judge said DHS merely conveyed that it reserved the right to send him to Uganda, not that it necessarily intended to. And on X, as you can well imagine, they're celebrating. They're saying with today's ruling, Kilmar Abrego Garcia's final order of removal stands. This MS-13 gang member, human trafficker, domestic abuser, and child predator will never be loose on American streets. Now, the Post also noted that, some Democrats flew to a foreign land on
Taxpayer
the
money.
U.S. taxpayers' dime to break bread and have drinks with this terrorist gang member.
Let's be clear. This wasn't about we give a damn about the story. This was about optics. This was about feeding the base, saying, "Oh, here's this fat Maryland man. He was part of a." No, this was a terrible human being. And again, this goes back to what I just said about the left. They never can own. They protect criminals. They protect thugs. They protect illegal immigrants, and we'll get more into that in a moment. And they just never take accountability. And you dummies allowed them to use your taxpayer money to fly to a foreign country to talk to a monkey. That's what y'all allowed. Just want y'all to know that. And this is why y'all about to elect a socialist in New York. And this is why you're probably about to elect a socialist in Minneapolis too, because you're dumb.
Him while he was in prison. And if that wasn't bad enough, people really made the point that, listen, they're out there visiting this guy instead of looking out for the safety of the American people and putting that first, which is their job. Now, currently, Garcia is cooling his heels at a Pennsylvania facility.
I'm sorry. Is his hairline sprayed on too?
And because of the shutdown, there's actually another evidentiary hearing. It's been postponed until next Monday. And that's when they're going to consider when and where he's going to hit the bricks and leave our great country.
I talk about a long goodbye, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. See you later.
Right, thank you so much.
So what happened to the what happened to the charges? They brought him back for the charges. Remember when Pam Bondi read the laundry list of stuff he was being charged with? What happened to that? What happened to that case? What happened to that case? Oh, okay. Diddy hasn't been sentenced yet. Still, I'm waiting. I'm just trying to make sure I stay up to date. But his eyebrows are sprayed on too. Yo, check it. That was a makeup job for your ears. Where's he at? Woo! That's a plastic man right there. I was like, I mean, he don't look bad. You can just tell he's very heavily made up. Like he's just very heavily made up. And it's okay to put on a little makeup for TV, but damn, it's like you have on makeup. Anyway, oh, I didn't create a graphic for this one. That's odd. Anyway, I guess I'll just introduce it anyway. Stephen A. Smith goes off on Jasmine Crockett, on Senorita Eyelashes herself. He's over it. And I like this Stephen A. Smith. I like the straight shooter Stephen A. Smith. That's the name of his show.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia.
Well, that's really what she is. She's supposed to be a representative for 30, for Texas 30. And then, well, she won't be there anymore, but after this cycle. But here's the thing. Jasmine Crockett has never been in this for the people. She didn't have to fight for that seat. She didn't earn the seat. It was handed to her, essentially. There was no challenge from there was no Democrat challenger. There was no Republican challenger. She was just handed the seat. Same thing with AOC. AOC, the powers that be, found a vulnerable seat in New York, which was District 14. I believe AOC is District 14. And District 14 is part of Queens and part of the Bronx. And so they found a vulnerable district. They found this old white man who really wasn't a spark plug in Congress. And they said, okay, cool, let's go after his seat. And then they put the bimbo in that seat. Now, AOC is not smart enough to debate. She's not smart enough. She probably never will be smart enough to debate, especially geopolitics, especially actual issues beyond social issues. She can't really have the conversation because she's not smart. She's never even read the Constitution. You can tell she's really stupid, along with Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and the rest of them. Just really dumb people who have no business being in the halls of Congress. But that's another conversation for another day. Jasmine Crockett is in the same vein. She never had to work for anything. And so because if Jasmine Crockett was really about it, here's what Jasmine Crockett would do. The moment Texas redistrict, she would have hit the ground trying to get the people in Texas 30 to rally around her. But that's not her plan. Her plan is to either run for Senate, which would be a total disaster, or if she's not going to run for Senate, she's going to try to run to the next pretty much guaranteed district that she can get elected in, because she's not going to fight for a seat. She's not going to do the work. She's not going to do the due diligence. She's not going to really go after it the way she wants to. So here's the thing. Jasmine Crockett is for Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett wants a career. This is about her career trajectory. This is not about the people at Texas 30. Because if it was, the moves would be a lot different. This is an anti-Trump agenda. That's what this is about. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about, making sure your constituents. We can go to Texas 30 right now. It's a shithole. Right? There's no goal and there's nothing. She doesn't care about those people. What she cares about is your vote, which is pretty much what everyone in politics cares about. There are very few, I would say, in Congress, Republican or Democrat, maybe 15% would be generous. 10% of the people in Congress actually give a damn about the people that sent them there. Actually want to do the work. And that's a damn shame. Most of the other people are just posturing. They're looking for money. They're looking for kickbacks and payouts and all of that stuff. They're just looking for career come-ups. But that's just my assumption. That's my opinion. Anyway, keep going.
She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple.
I mean, that's literally what it is, though, Stephen A. And then they try to say that Stephen A is politically ignorant. Now, he's not perfect, but Stephen A This is it. This is essentially it. I run in whatever district. The people of that district trusted me. They gave me their vote. They sent me to Washington. They sent me to Washington for viral videos? No, they didn't send me to Washington to curse the president out every 30 seconds. Every time there's a damn camera in my face, I'm disparaging the president of the United States. That's not what I was sent to Washington for. I can disagree with the president regardless of party, but there's a difference between disagreeing with the president and what these people are doing right now. It's not the same. You let these people tell it. Donald Trump is destroying their lives. And then speaking of sidebar, that anorexic, Ozempic, cracked out whore, Ariana Grande, she posted, "Oh, Trump supporters, are you happy now with Trump?" You people don't understand what politics is. Politics is not about being someone's fan. I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I hired Donald Trump to do a job. Right. That's it. I need these fucking regulations out of my way because regulations don't benefit the little guy. Regulations benefit the big guy, the Amazons, the Targets, the Best Buys, the Walmarts. That's what the regulations. They benefit those people. They don't benefit me. So when I, the small business owner, saying, "Hey, this is affecting me, get this out of my way." Y'all just keep adding regulation on regulation on regulation, and now you gotta get 5 billion permits just to open your doors. Yeah, we got a problem with that. It's not free market friendly. I don't give a damn about capitalism. I'm talking about free markets. But Ariana Grande, you can shut up. You sold your soul to Hollywood. You doing witch movies. Shut up. Anyway, I digress.
But it ain't that damn complicated.
It's not.
We make it complicated.
Oh yeah, all the time. Stephen A. reconsidering this political straight shooter show.
Damn, it's frustrating.
It is. It is.
It really can be.
It's frustrating because it's very simple. That's why it's frustrating. It's frustrating because people don't have to be this way. You don't have to do the most. You really don't. But people insist on doing the most because, well, they're playing the game of politics. It's not about the people. It's about their personal agenda. Now, let's be clear. Donald Trump is playing 5D chess right now with these Democrats. He brought in homeboy from Project 2025. They're about to fire a bunch of y'all people. Oh, speaking of which, Charlie Kirk, an old Charlie Kirk tweet resurfaced. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Where he literally laid out what to do during the last shutdown. And this time I think Donald Trump is actually adhering to it this time. What is going on? What is going on? Okay, there we go. All right. Where's Charlie Kirk's tweet? Wait, I thought I had it. I guess I don't. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. Boop, bip, boom. All right. Hold on. What does this comment say? Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Who's this nameless bitch? If you're not even American, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of these foreign baboons having opinions on America. Meanwhile, all of you motherfuckers are dragging your knuckles trying to get here. Shut up. So Charlie Kirk said, "We should use this government shutdown as a chance to shrink government permanently." I agree. Privatize the TSA, privatize the FAA, air traffic controllers, abolish the IRS, which is the thing I'm most behind, and remove non-essential workers. And that's what Donald Trump is doing right now. So we're on bullet point 4. If we can get to the IRS, that'd be great, because right now what the Democrats don't understand, the White House told them already. The goal is to unravel enough of the federal government right now. That's the goal. Unravel as much as possible. Since y'all want to play hardball, we'll just do what we need to do because the doors ain't open. And thereby that will make it impossible for Democrats to rebuild it. Damn near impossible. See, y'all thinking of like we want to give money to illegals and mentally ill people to cut off their dicks, but we're not thinking long term, bigger picture, right? Y'all just thinking of this stupid stuff, this social issue stuff, this emotional stuff, but you're not thinking of the actual politics part of it. And so, yeah, Donald Trump continued to play 5D chess with these baboons, and let them keep crying and screaming and lying. And then, speaking of, okay, okay, I don't want to hear another damn thing. Oh, we didn't have it's not about funding illegals. You literally told us. I played the video yesterday. I'll play it again for you right now if you'd like. And then we unearthed a Kamala Harris video where she literally said it. So let's play the illegals one, because y'all claim y'all don't want to fund illegals. Meanwhile, you had literally every Democrat in this debate raise their hand and say that they're going to fund illegals, but y'all want to play the game of we didn't say it. Okay, here you go. Your own actions.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
Kamala Harris is right there. That's is that Gillibrand? That's Gillibrand. I don't know these two on the right. That's Joe Biden. that's the gay dude. That's the Asian that wanted to give out the money. Yeah, these are y'all people. So you can stop the bullshit that y'all are not pro illegal immigration. You are very pro illegal immigration. Why? Because black people are waking up. And while blacks are still very much lost in the sauce when it comes to Democrats, enough are waking up for y'all to be alert. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because Republicans don't need that much of the black vote. They don't need any of it, actually. But they don't need that much for y'all to lose. Y'all need to lose about 10, 15% of the black vote. And y'all are toast. Y'all are never going to win another national election again, because guess what? The other demographics in this country aren't that emotional. If you look at the white, you look at the Hispanics, you look at the Asians, everyone's pretty much give or take 5 to 10% in one direction or the other. Black people are the only idiots that go 90% in one direction. We're the only ones that do that. So you look at all the other demographics, they're pretty much split down the middle, right? So all you need is a little bit of that shaving off from the Democrats, and the Democrats are now panicking. This is why they want these mongrels in our country at no cost. First of all, it's the new slavery, because Democrat is the party of slavery. They're the party of Jim Crow. They're the party of all of the ills in the history of this country. They're the leaders of it. And this is just the psychological way of acting like I'm your friend while fucking you over at the same time. So yeah, it doesn't benefit the illegal immigrants, and it doesn't benefit the American people, right? It benefits them, right? This is about votes. This has never been about the people. So this is the proof. See all the hands up? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear one of you monkeys ever in your life come into my live stream and say, "Well, the Democrats are not for the elite." Yes, they proved it right here. Now, one of the people standing here raising her damn hand, let's hear her own words.
Must be addressed.
The bill also says, quote, every individual who is a resident of the United States is entitled to benefits for health care services under this act. Not every individual who's a citizen, but every individual who's a resident. So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all, to people who are in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period.
Oh, okay. So did we take it out of context? The question was asked. The answer was presented. It was not chopped up. It wasn't remixed. So what did I miss here? That's pro-America? No, if you're pro-illegal immigration, you're not pro-America. That's it, period. You can't be both. That's like saying you're a Christian and then marrying gay people. How the fuck does that work? Your people make no sense. You make no sense. And what you don't understand, you know what? Lumberjack. That's funny. I gotta share. Um anyway, okay. Back to the topic. Um so we showed your people raising their hands. Oh yeah. I'm gonna make sure these illegals get their health insurance. I'm gonna make sure they're covered. I'm gonna make sure they're covered. And then you have Kamala Harris in her own words. In her own words. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna remix the words? No, that's what she said. She said what she said. Oh, okay. Moving on. And thank God this woman did not win the election, because God knows what we'd be dealing with right now. First of all, the border would still be wide open because we'll be sitting here denying that it's happening, continuing the denial that it's happening. And regardless of how many lives are lost or destroyed or hurt, or how many people are mangled by these people, no, we didn't. No, it's not all of them. It only takes a few apples to mess it up for everybody, right? Anyway, so speaking of, and we'll bring it even closer to today. So we have this this musty person running for mayor of Minneapolis. Omar Fateh. Is that how you say his name? We need to, you know how Italians had to shorten their names? We got to give these people American names. Omar Faith. Omar Faith is running for mayor. Now, again, y'all want to sit here and sell us on the idea that these people do not put illegal immigrants before the American people. Listen to Omar Faith.
Day one, if you were elected, what would be some of your top 2-3 priorities for the city?
So that's a very good question. So the first I would say would be a hostile federal government with not only Donald Trump in office, but he has essentially a trifecta, both chambers of Congress and the Supreme Court. And a lot of our neighbors, especially our undocumented residents, are very concerned.
He doesn't have. Oh my God. Wait, he has to get this last line out.
A lot of our neighbors, especially our undocumented residents, are very concerned.
Why are they concerned? Why are they concerned? This is an ugly nigga, though. so we, let me get myself together. Do we have a verdict? Do we have a verdict? Okay, do we have a verdict yet? Oh God. So this is what Barack Obama let into the country. And now these people are infiltrating the government, not because they want to actually help the United States of America, because they don't want to assimilate. They want to push their agenda. That's what they want to do. This is not about the people of America. This is about all of these foreigners coming in here. Ugh. All these foreigners coming in here. and infiltrating the very powers that be to try to take over this country. Hence what's going on in New York, which we're about to talk about in a moment, and hence what's going on around the country and in Congress. And it's only going to get worse. Yes, you have freedom of religion. You do have that. That's one of the beauties of being an American. But you still have to assimilate. If I move somewhere, I can still have parts of my Americanness, but I still have to assimilate to what their customs, right? I can't be like, well, I'm gonna do my own thing. Oh, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Whatever. I don't no. So he literally just told you the priority is to protect people that have no rights to this land over you. And he's going to use your taxpayer dollars to do it. Mm-hmm. Just like Zorhan said on The View, how he is protecting that Trump should not stop funding for sanctuary cities. When did the people of New York say that they wanted to be a sanctuary city? They never voted for it. The people never got the chance to speak, because I'm pretty sure if you gave them the chance to speak, the majority of them will say, no, we don't want a whole bunch of freaking illegals here, because that runs up the cost for everybody. Right. Why would we want to bring in a whole bunch of people and we're suffering? But okay. We'll let you talk about it. I'm happy for you, Taylor. I'm gonna let you finish. We'll be back. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, Rant Christmas is here. So make sure you head on over to AJsRANTRoom.com, pick up your Rant Christmas gear. I got to be ahead of the game. I can't compete with Mariah Carey and them. So I got to be ahead of them. So anyway, but if I didn't have so many regulations, I could compete with them. But anyway, moving on. So most likely the future mayor of New York was on The View yesterday. New Yorkers, y'all about to get a lot right now, because New Yorkers, too many COVID vaccines? Is that what happened? Y'all got so much COVID vaccine in y'all that your fucking brains are off. Y'all don't see a snake oil salesman when you hear y'all don't. Where's y'all bullshit detectors? If one thing I could give us New Yorkers, whether we still live there or not, is that we have great bullshit detectors. We could look at you and tell you gaming us. So y'all mean to tell me y'all sat there and listened to this sand nigga on The View and said this is authenticity?
Yes, Assemblyman, you're running for mayor of New York and not prime minister of Israel, but you've made inflammatory statements like calling Israel an apartheid state and questioning its right to exist as a Jewish state. Just this week, you were evasive with a reporter about condemning Hamas. Given New York...
Just this week. Sarah said just this week. She didn't say 5 years ago. She said this week. He was evasive. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
New York has the largest Jewish population.
The largest Jewish population, New York City. Very large Jewish population.
Outside of Israel. Why should voters who see this as a moral red line trust your clarity and judgment?
Well, I really appreciate this question and an opportunity to just clear up, I think, a number of misconceptions.
You know, if I rehearsed, because I used to be in corporate America, if I rehearsed, because I used to rehearse before I would go into meetings and stuff, and I would make sure my voice is very measured, that I'm really understanding, that I'm really talking to you. Let's listen to the snake oil salesman.
You know, first and foremost, you're right. I am running to be the mayor of the city, and this city will be the focus of my administration, ensuring that we make this a city everyone can afford and everyone knows that they belong to. And also, millions of New Yorkers.
Except the white people, because remember, he told the white people, y'all should be paying more taxes.
Myself included, care deeply about what's happening in Israel and Palestine. And so to be very, very clear, of course I condemn Hamas. Of course I've called October 7th what it was, which is a horrific war crime. And of course, my belief in a universality in international law is also the same set of beliefs that have led me to describe what's happening in Gaza as...
You believe that? You believe that? If you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. I'm going to just say it straight up. If you believe what this donkey just said, you're an idiot. There's no, you can, he hadn't rehearsed enough. Yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say that October 7th. October 7th was a disaster. October 7th. The rehearsal hasn't, it's working, but it's not quite there yet, Mamdani. It's not quite there yet.
The genocide. Because what we see...
Woo, woo, woo. You New Yorkers got too much COVID vaccine in you. What the fuck are y'all clapping for? What are we clapping for? What is the applause line here? Did I miss something? Play it back.
Law is also the same set of beliefs that have led me to describe what's happening in Gaza as a genocide. Because what we see...
It's not a genocide. It's like Brandon Tatum described it the best. When Japan decided to FAFO and come for us, and then we dropped 2 atomic bombs in response and killed millions of Japanese people, unfortunately, you had to die, but you fucked with me first. That's it. That's it. Literally, there's peace on the table. We're negotiating with terrorists right now to bring peace to the people who voted for the terrorists to be in power. How do we reconcile the stupidity that's going on here? I'm still figuring out what the applause line is here, though.
What we see is a war crime being answered with war crimes. And what we see...
Wait a minute. I'm going to the concert. And here y'all roll up, shooting me, killing me, stabbing me, taking the women and children and raping the women and all of this stuff. And I'm supposed to do what? Slap you on the wrist, bitch? Y'all, what? War crimes with war crimes. Wait a minute. So if somebody walks up to you and punch you in the face for no reason, you minding your business, you over here doing your thing, bam, sock you right in the face. Does that person get to tell you how to respond? No. Now, could overkill be a crime? Yes, but if he kills you, he kills you. You fucked around and found out. What you want me to do about that? No.
Is every single hour the Israeli military killing a Palestinian child for close to 2 years. And it's a horror that many New Yorkers feel so deeply. And my job, I can't stop that as the mayor of the city.
Y'all believe that? Y'all believe what he just said? This is a snake oil salesman, people. He's lying to you. He is lying to you. We went when he was first announced, when he first won the Democrat primary, I went to his website on this very podcast and we read through the points, all of the grand ideas. We read through everything on the website. We went through it meticulous, point by point. So I'm not just making shit up. I went to the website and read your words. And then, of course, we dug in you. And then only to find out, not only are you a, quote, democratic socialist, you're a fucking Nepo baby. You come from privilege. You come from wealth. And you opt in and out of that privilege as you see fit. Oh, well, now I want to get married, so let me go have a multi-million-dollar wedding. You know what? He's so rich that he went back to Uganda to the family compound and was able to block the president of Uganda from getting on the street to go mourn a statesman who had just died. That's the privilege he comes from. So he's going to convince you that, yeah, I'm for you. I understand your life. I've been shitting in gold toilets my whole life, but I understand you. Y'all really gonna fall for this? Y'all really gonna fall for this? Listen, the best solution, New Yorkers, is to move out of New York. New York is never gonna solve the problem while you're there. They're just not. Just never gonna solve the problem while you're there. They're just not. But they know how stupid y'all are, believe how stupid y'all are. And if you fell for this answer, I can't help you. But it gets funnier. So here let's talk about defunding the police. Let's talk about, because he was a big person. He was big on that, right? That was one of his big priorities. As a democratic socialist, we got to defund the police. We need more of this and less of this and more of this. Okay, now this is what his tuna can answer, well rehearsed, because you can tell he's been rehearsing, because he know Cuomo's about to whoop that ass. So he's rehearsed. He's rehearsed right now. So now, but also, wait, before I even move on, if you're a Jewish New Yorker, and you fell for this answer, you're dumb. You're really, you're dumber than everyone else. If you are a Jewish New Yorker and you listen to that bullshit that just came out of this man's mouth and you believed it was the gospel, you're dumb. You're absolutely dumb.
Back in 2020, you called for defunding the police, something you've since walked back. You also called the NYPD racist, anti-queer, and a threat to public safety in 2020, but now agree they deserve an apology. You initially refused to denounce highly charged rhetoric related to Israel, then later said you would discourage its use. How can New Yorkers trust you and not be concerned that consultants are getting in your ear to get you elected, but you still hold all of those positions?
Well, they can rest assured that it isn't consultants in my ear.
Okay, we all know that if a politician tells you that's not what it is, then that's probably what it is. I already know this. You've been rehearsed. It's fine. What politician doesn't have consultants? It is consultants in your ear. Multi-millionaire Nepo baby. Yes, you can afford consultants who will tell you how to streamline your extreme points. Y'all have rehearsed it. Okay, so instead of saying defund the police, you have to sort of chummy up to the police, because guess what? As mayor, you have to appoint the police commissioner. And that can be a concern for the police and the union and all of that other stuff. So, of course, we're going to butter up to the police right now. Of course, we're going to soften the rhetoric right now. We're trying to get your vote. Why would I not soften the rhetoric right now? I need you to vote for me. And not only do I need you to vote for me, I'm going to be disingenuous. I'm going to be disingenuous in the process. Okay, go ahead.
And I think this is another part of, to be a young person looking to lead is also to leave the opening for growth and understanding. And I can tell you, growing up in this city, I thought often about safety and justice, and I saw how justice was often left aside, whether it was the Central Park Five, whether it was Sean Bell, whether it was Eric Garner, whether it was watching the news of Michael Brown, and then in
This is how they get you. You see what he did? This is how they get y'all dumb black asses, right? Because he already tried to get the Jews with the first answer, right? So this is how you get your dumb blacks, right? The dumb blacks sit here and say, "Oh, you got it again." It's like saying slavery, Jim Crow, black codes, all the buzzwords, racism. As soon as you say those words, all your good sense goes out the window. So now I'm gonna bring the emotional aspect in here. So I'm gonna whip you up emotionally, right? Right. So I'm gonna get those emotions all whipped up right now. Bring up these cases, right? Because everyone knows the surface of these cases. The Central Park Five is guilty as fuck, and everyone knows it, but no one can actually say it, right? No one can actually say it. Anyway, go ahead, finish your tuna can answer.
20 to see the murder of George Floyd, it felt.
What the fuck does George Floyd have to do with New York City? Crackhead Floyd was in Minneapolis. Ain't got nothing to do with New York City. Crackhead Floyd would be alive today if he didn't go into a store with counterfeit money. Crackhead Floyd, who was getting his life together, because there's always, every time they get fucked up, they were getting their lives together. What does this have to do with New York City? Go.
As if there had never been a wider chasm in my life between those things. And after that, becoming an assembly member and learning about the ways in which you deliver justice is by intertwining it with safety. Can't be done alone. And learning that behind the headlines, behind the caricatures, we're speaking about police officers who are just trying to do their best. And my job as a mayor is to represent those officers who put their lives on the line, represent Muslim New Yorkers who are illegally surveilled, represent Black and brown New Yorkers who've been the...
Did he answer the question yet? All this emotions. I hear a lot of emotionalism. I hear a lot of emotion and no substance. Yeah. Because once he has your emotions, he can say anything he wants after that, because you'll just shake your head. Because Eric Gardner was a tragic case. It was. Eric Gardner was a tragic case. Amadou Diallo was a tragic case. These are tragic. These are things where police got it wrong in New York, but most of the time police officers get it right. So to sit here and say that because of these anomalies, that somehow police officers need to be stripped of everything and their ability to protect themselves, and you still haven't answered the question. We are 1 minute and 33 seconds in, and you still haven't answered the damn question.
Victims of police brutality, and do all of it
and
with
Jewish
a commitment.
Americans
Absolutely.
and
white people, everybody. You talk about everybody.
This is a run-on.
Oh no, he ain't talking about no white people. What, white people ain't in this? No. Even though white people are the biggest victims of police brutality, but we don't want to have that conversation, do we? But but no, he don't give a damn about no white people. This man is racist. He's anti-Semitic. This man hates Jewish people. This man hates police officers. This man hates law and order.
Sentence that includes every New Yorker because of the fact that safety and justice can be non-negotiable no matter who we're speaking about.
And can I ask, have you formally apologized to the NYPD?
These are conversations that I'm having individually with officers.
So he hasn't. He still didn't answer her first question. But, when you have a weak conservative on the panel, she's not going to push back. Because this is corporate media, and we don't want to piss off, our Democrat base.
And I've appreciated that, because it's through those conversations with rank and file officers that I've learned more about the difficulties of this job. The difficulties where, for example, when I started running this race, about 200 officers were leaving the department every month. Now it's 350. And when you ask officers why, they'll tell you forced overtime.
Okay. Oh, let's talk about forced overtime, people. We can talk about forced overtime. This is literally what the issue was in Washington, D.C., right? So when you're forcing overtime because you're short staffed, right? So I'm trying to get the numbers in D.C. because it's been a few weeks since I talked about this, but I believe there was $2 million in overtime and forced overtime hours because they had a shortage of 800 officers. So when you don't have those 800 officers, the officers that are on have to compensate for those 800 vacancies. So that's why 800 National Guardsmen were sent to Washington, D.C. to fill in for the 800 vacancies, right? And now the other officers aren't forced to do overtime, so they're not exhausted. They're not being run ragged. Right. They're not being put in precarious situations where you're exhausted to the point where you can't even see straight, but you have to be here. Yeah. The reason why you have overtime is because of 2020. New York in 2020. Did we forget what we did to police in 2020? We vilified an entire profession over the actions of one officer. We vilified an entire profession. All cops are bad. We still get these in our live streams. ACAB, all cops are bad. We still get that acronym. And it's because of you and your rhetoric. Why be a police officer? If the very thought, the very sight of me incites you to want to kill me or hurt me or harm me, police officers want to go home to their families just like you do. Most police officers, the overwhelming majority of police officers, are not bad people. But we take the few bad apples and then we try to make it the entire profession. Or if a police officer does make a mistake, because guess what? They're human beings. You can train all the fuck you want, but the real world is the real world. And if you make a mistake, yes, you should be held accountable for your mistake. But to say that the mistake, like who's the idiot? Taser, taser, taser. The stupid female officer that shot Dante Wright when she mistook her gun for a taser, which just goes to show that she wasn't training. So yeah, she should be held accountable for that. That was stupid. But to say that's a template for all police officers and then start burning down streets and shit, yeah, that's where you take it. So then when you're literally hurling Molotov cocktails and bashing in windows and shooting at police officers, yeah, that's why they're leaving. That's why you are short-staffed. And no NYPD, if you sign up for the NYPD, if this motherfucker gets in, you're stupid. You're absolutely dumb.
And what they mean by that is, you got 3 days off at the end of the week. You're planning a trip with your family.
Oh
and
my
at the last
God.
minute, you're told, second day, you got to be back.
This is such.
Part of the reason
these are the prepackaged answers that he's been given by his consultants that he claims he doesn't have. The consultants gave him the prepackaged answers, but he's leaving out the actual why. Why are you forced to do overtime? Because we're short-staffed. Why are you short-staffed? Because you don't respect the profession. You have vilified the profession. So I'm doing a simple traffic stop, ends up in me dying. So why am I here? But if I get shot and killed, nothing. Crickets. If one officer makes a mistake, that's the entire police force in the United States of America. Shut up.
got to be back is because we're asking cops to do everything we can think of.
Yeah.
We're asking them to handle mental health
Now give us
calls.
the why.
We're asking them to deal with homelessness.
Give us the why.
Every year now,
Give us the why. Give us the why.
cops respond to 200,000 mental health calls. So our proposal is allow the officers to do their job of tackling serious crime and create a Department of Community Safety that deals with homelessness, that deals with mental health crisis, so that we don't have response times like we do today, which are closer to 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Woohoo! Yeah. Being against daily those musty motherfuckers should have thought about that before they decided to attack those people on October 7th. Get the fuck out of here. See here, come cry on the back end. You fucked around, now you finding out. Now I don't condone children being killed, of course not. But hey, it's called the consequence. And what the fuck does New York City have to do with Gaza? Nothing. Nothing. We have nothing in common. Nothing. The fuck? Gaza is not a talking point to be the mayor of New York City. What the fuck can the mayor of New York City do for Gaza? Absolutely nothing. We're bored. Anyway, y'all vote for the snake oil salesman. It's on you. That's it. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't care. Do you? I don't live there anymore. I left New York City for a reason. And like I told you at the top of this, the best solution is to leave New York City. You sitting here waiting for rents to be better. You're sitting here waiting for the quality of life to improve. It's not going to happen instantly. And it's damn sure not going to happen through socialism. So go ahead and elect this sand nigga and FAFO. Y'all went from de Blasio to Adams to this. I think it's just too much COVID vaccine at this point. Stop getting those boosters. It's fucking up your logic. New Yorkers, we have good bullshit detectors. And if you listen to this whole interview and didn't detect the bullshit coming out of this man's mouth, that's on you. Ain't got nothing to do with any of us. I won't be affected. You will be affected. This man prioritizes illegal immigrants. He's a Why is a mayor talking about Gaza? Who cares? Make your stance clear and keep it moving. But you lied about your stance. I could see through the bullshit. But I can't wait for this debate with Cuomo and Sliwa. I really wish Sliwa would just drop out of the race. Sliwa should just drop out of the race. And because the Republican Party is putting no money behind this race because the Republican Party didn't even put up challengers for Sliwa. He literally just sailed into the nomination. So he's a non-factor in this. And I think like the 19% he's polling at could go to Cuomo. But none of the choices are great here. I'm going to be very clear. None of the choices are great here. But voting Democrat socialist because the choices aren't great, that's a bit dumb. And if you're a Jewish New Yorker, even worse. You're dumber than dumb. So anyway, that's my TED Talk for today. I really appreciate y'all for listening to me. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to AJsRantRoom.com. That's AJsRantRoom.com. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday for this show and the Rant Experience. I will be live on TikTok at 5 p.m. today. So yeah, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love you a long time. Have a good one. Peace out.